Here's another splendid trick I've got. 2 ordinary pieces of paper. And the idea is that you're meant to ask somebody at home, which is the bigger one? Well, that's easy, isn't it? The green one's much longer. But what about now? Huh? That's very strange, isn't it? Now the green one's smaller and the red one's bigger. Well, what's going on here? It's a very powerful illusion, isn't it? Well, the trick is that both the pieces are the same size. And this is a very, very old illusion. But again, one you can try at home to fool your friends and baffle your family. The shrinking paper. Here's how to do it. You'll need 2 different coloured pieces of paper or card for this. And you'll need to sketch out the rough shape. Now the shape is not too sensitive. You can get away with it looking a little bit different to mine. But if I show you the shape, it's a rainbow type shape, but one edge is thicker and it tapers down to a slightly thinner edge here. I'm going to sketch it out for you here. There's my 2 lines, and I'm going to join them up. Okay? One thicker side, one thinner side, and they're at a slight angle like this. Now, if you're finding the shape tricky, just ask a grown-up at home to help you. You can also trace something like this off of a computer screen or a television. There are a few templates out there online, so hopefully you'll be able to get that shape. Now, the important thing is you're not going to impress anyone if they're actually different sizes. So the important thing is that they are exactly the same size. That's the illusion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the green piece behind the pink piece. I'm going to cut them both out together so that I know I've got the same size. So I've cut both of those out together, and as you can see, one is behind the other, so they should be an identical size to one another. Now it works best, I find, on a blank background, so we can pop them down on our piece of paper. Put one here and one here. Perfect, look at that. This one looks longer. Flip them over. Now this one looks longer. Prove to your friends they are identical. Wonderful illusion, that. Here's another lovely illusion. I showed you this last time, really just talking about the spinning part of it, the friction. But this is part of an illusion, so I think I'll set it up for you. What you need to do is you need to stare at the central dot for 20 seconds, and then once you've stared at it for that long, another picture is going to pop up. And you should see that picture shrinking and changing, doing all sorts of weird stuff. So I'll give it a spin for you. Whoa, there, can you see it? The picture on the screen should be growing or shrinking or doing something else. An amazing illusion. So what's going on here? Well, as this spins, your brain is trying to make sense of the spinning pattern, and it starts to adapt to the spinning pattern. When you take the spinning pattern away all of a sudden, your brain is still trying to adapt to the pattern, and it will then affect the image you see afterwards. Now, your brain's a clever thing, and it will soon get the hang of what's going on, but for just a few seconds after watching the spinning object, you'll see that pattern on your eyes. It's called the persistence of vision. Okay, the last trick I'm going to show you is a really good one, but just to warn you, it takes lots of practice. This is a trick I've probably been practicing my whole life, and it does take a little while to get the hang of it, but it is a very, very convincing illusion. So, magicians aren't really supposed to tell you their secrets, but I'm willing to tell you this one. It's called the French drop, and you need a small object. A coin works well. I'm in my kitchen, so I've got a grape. What you do is you hold the object in this hand, and then you just take it in this hand, and before you know it, the object has vanished. Isn't that amazing? So what happened to the grape then? Well, it was in my other hand all along, and I'm going to show you the secrets of doing this amazing piece of sleight of hand. Let's look at it from a different angle. So, to begin with, we hold the object in our non-dominant hand. I'm a right-hander usually, so I'm going to begin by holding the object in my left hand. You need to hold the object between your thumb and your first finger, like so, and you can just tuck the other fingers in. Now, the trick is to take the object without it actually going into your other hand. And the way we do this is we bring our right hand over. These fingers will act to shield the object from your audience, and your thumb goes underneath. Once you're about to bring your hand closed, you let the object drop into your other fingers. And this is done in one smooth movement. So we cover, drop, I've already dropped it, look, and then take the other hand away, and the most important thing is this point here. The point directs your audience to look at the hand. You have to believe that the object is in this hand. You know it's really tucked in here, but you have to believe that the object is in this hand, and the most important thing is you have to look at it as well. Whatever you do, don't look at this hand. Draw your hand away, do the point, and look at this hand, and your audience will believe that the object is in this hand. Once you've done that, casually drop this hand down, and if you can, pocket the object. You've then got both your hands free, with nothing in them, to do some magic with. I'm going to show you one more time. Okay, object in your non-dominant hand. Between your thumb and finger, bring your other hand over, drop the object, can you see it just rolling down there, and then point and look. Now, it will take a professional magician years to get this perfect, but if you keep practicing, you can end up with some pretty cool magic. Here I have a grape, over and point. Remember to look at it as well. Notice my eyes followed the wrong hand there. This hand has nothing in it, so I don't want to be looking at it. So, over the top, point, look. Drop your hand down and put the object in your pocket. Keep looking here. Do some magic words. And the object is gone. Lots of cool tricks you can do with that as your basis. So once you've learned that, there's loads of different things you can do. So try it yourself at home. Here's an interesting illusion I picked up a few years ago. It looks like two springs coiled round one another. And the idea is that you can pull these springs apart. But the magic is, you can just keep on pulling them. And that's a splendid illusion. They never seem to quite pull apart, do they? So how does this one work? Well, if you look carefully, you can see the springs are actually attached to one another. As I pull them, I'm just letting them slip through my fingers. You can see there, I'm not actually gripping the springs, just sort of moving my hands apart and letting them twist as I go. It's a very, very amazing illusion, and it's very convincing. It really does look like the springs just go on and on and on forever. So a very simple one, that. I don't know if you'll be able to find yourself some springs at home and maybe glue them together or something. It's not a difficult illusion to make, but as I said, I didn't make this one, I bought it in a shop. Maybe one to try at home with a parent. See if you can make something similar. Here's an interesting object. I call it the Impossicube. It's something I printed on my 3D printer, actually. What's interesting about it is it's made from one single line. What do I mean? Well, if I follow one particular line with my finger, you can see the whole cube is made up of one single piece of plastic. And eventually, when I follow it all the way around, I'll get back to where I started from. Quite an interesting object, the Impossicube. What's also interesting is the lines never touch one another. So the whole thing is made up of one long line of plastic that never touches itself. Quite a curious object, but a fun one, that one. If you've got a 3D printer at home, you can find this model online and have a go at printing an Impossicube yourself. Another one of those low friction spinning toys. See the little bump on the bottom there, allows it to spin. Now, this is quite an amazing toy. It uses a flashing torch, which I can't get working today, but I don't think you'd see it very well on the camera anyway. What I can do is show you just using the camera and how it works. So we know that it spins, but the important part is these amazing animation discs that come with it. This is a good example to look at. Actually, I think I'll use the horse one. The horse is a nice, easy to see one. Where are you? There you go. So each part of the image has got a different part of the horse's running animation. And this is how all animation works. When we are shown images that change very quickly, our brain puts it together and interprets it as movement. So the idea is that the discs go onto the Strobotop and you give it a spin and you can see an animation. Now, as I said, normally I'd have to use this flashing torch that goes with it, but I can tweak my camera settings and show you the animations using the camera. So I've set my camera to something called a very high shutter speed, and that's going to provide the flickering movement that I need. That's why it's gone a little bit dark, but if I give it a real spin, see what happens. Amazing, isn't it? Look at that. A beautiful animation of the horse running. Should we try a few of the others? So I've got this gear one. See what happens there. There we go. All the gears rotating around one another. Gosh, that's quite cool, isn't it? What about my cat here? My Claudia. Let's have a look. Is she going to start jumping nicely? There we go, scampering along. Oh, how about this one? Should be seeing some football skills here. Fantastic, look at that. Keepy uppies. This one looks quite cool. I think it's someone getting bonked on the head with a hammer. There we go, look. Okay, last one. It's a piggy. And there's our little piggies trotting along. Beautiful toy. So there we go. It's called the Strobotop. Strobotop. Here's another lovely invention. This is called the hologram bowl. And as you can see, on top there is a little poker chip. The amazing thing about this is that poker chip is not real. I can put my fingers right through it. This is an example of a wonderful optical trick. Incredible, look. So to see what's going on, you need to take the top off. And you can see that we've got here a mirrored bowl, and the object that we want to display is actually placed at the very bottom of the bowl. The top half is also a mirror. Very, very good mirror with a hole in the top. So when you place the lid on, the light is bouncing around inside and we end up with this incredible hologram. It really does look completely real. If I look down in the hole, you can see there's the actual poker chip all the way down there. But then as we move away, floating on the top is this incredible illusion. Quite wonderful. Now you can put anything you like down in there. Let's try something else. Should we try this? Sort of a butterfly hair clip that I've got here. So we'll pop that down in there. Put the lid on. And there it is. Amazing. That is incredible, actually. Let me try and pick it up. Oh, nope. No way of doing it, I'm afraid. It's all an illusion. I've got one more object to try. Can you guess what it is? Thanks for watching.